Okay, everybody, I hope you're having a wonderful and chill out weekend. I most certainly am. Well, yeah, I've been actually been quite busy, people to see, things to do. But on the other hand, it's still the weekend, so I've got my kind of like Zen cap on at the moment. Now, looking at the comment section, which have been slowly piling up, to Gabriel, well done on buying a copy of The Projection of the Astral Body by Muldoon and Carrington. If you read some of that book every single night, okay, on rotation, going over especially the bits which really, really interest you, especially his exercises, and you try your best to follow those exercises for a couple of years with a certain quantity of obsession to try and get somewhere with it, I'm pretty convinced you'll start to have some experiences which will lead you in the right direction. And it won't be instant. It will be as you carry on being obsessed by it and taking it seriously, because like it's good and it's a fantastic way of starting a new chapter of your journey. Secondly, I've had another inquiry kind of thing on the comments section of one of my videos, which I think was a tarot reading for you, according to what I can see here on YouTube. Now, this one's curious, and I think it requires a certain level of discussion and thinking about. It's not about something which I myself have taken a look at or practiced or attempted to experience, and therefore I think it's worthwhile discussing from my point of view at the moment as to what could be like happening or right or whatever, and think just ways of doing it. It says here, "Hey Nick, hi. I've been subscribed to your channel for a while and periodically watch some of your content. Cool stuff." I would agree with you. Incredibly cool stuff. This is one of the coolest channels you could be watching. Okay. The message goes on. "There's one topic that I wanted to pick your brain about, and that isn't particularly on topic for this video, so bear with me, but I was wondering if you have successfully performed or know of any techniques in relation to recalling, open brackets, exploring the archive, so to speak, close brackets, old dreams which one may have a vague or no memory of." Interesting. Okay. "I have an inexplicable desire to delve back into my more surreal dreams I've had in the past. If you have an old video in which you have discussed this or wish to address this topic directly, I would be very grateful, as the topic fascinates me greatly. Thank you." Okay. This is interesting. Okay, because this is something which I am of the opinion, hypothetically, one should be able to do, and therefore it's perfectly okay to think about that. I mean, what is it that we dream about? An awful lot of our life is spent asleep. Okay, there must be something significant happening there. Obviously, there's the physical healing and physical detoxing and all that kind of stuff, and the brain deals with stuff. Yeah, sure, but sometimes it seems like there's something really, really interesting there. At a wild guess, I would suggest that you revert back to some of the more basic sort of like psychic development type exercises like path working, which is essentially imaginary journeys, but instead of it being like one of the ones you might see in a book, instead what you would do is something based upon some aspects of what you can recall from these weird dreams, and to see whether you can train yourself to go back into that again and again and again, and then attempt to use whatever you can like research from the lucid dreaming culture, okay, and use some of their techniques to kind of like put the two together and see if that helps. I mean, you could add all kinds of like physical world ritualistic stuff in order to try and like give yourself more positive, hopeful superstition to give you the mental strength to do it, if you know what I mean. You can write stuff down on a piece of paper, fold it up, shove it under your pillow before you go to bed, to use that as like a subconscious cue that, like, I don't know, tonight I want to explore the dream I had, which had a pink whale and a yellow unicycle riding giraffe with like the tail of an ox or whatever it is. And just see how that works for you. In reality, most of that sort of thing that you're talking about is the product of meditation, visualization, concentration, and dream work, and deliberately going into dream works to try and experience or create change within your dream world. So this is like hardcore lucid dreaming. It's not something which I've dedicated much of my time to specifically, but it would be worthwhile attempting to use that. I mean, obviously I'm curious as to why you would want to do that, what it is you're hoping to gain from your dream world, and what particular attitudes or spiritualities or theologies you have about your dream world as well, which I'd be quite curious to find that out. But in theory, I don't see why that shouldn't be like a thing which you can do, a positive thing which can help you to explore what's going on within your mind, within your psychology, within your dream world, whatever. I think that's worthwhile taking a look at. I've had another comment here which says, is there any particular book that you'd recommend on the history or symbology, etc.? I love the book which accompanies this deck, but wonder if there's a favourite of yours. Okay, it's not simply a favourite of mine, because there isn't a favourite of mine when it comes to symbolism and all the stuff which goes along with it. You can even find some of the really, really baby books on religious symbolism and see if you can study those and find out about those. I bought a rather thin hardback book called Magic Symbols. I liked the title, so I bought it. It was in a bargain shop somewhere for about £2. But even that gave me a good foundation as to how the tradition of these basic symbols have been used, how the circle has been used, and why things like the skull imagery you see in ancient churches is not necessarily a skull, it's actually a circle, therefore talking about the spirit and the universality of heaven and your own personal spiritual immortality as well, and that sort of stuff. And the original meaning, or alleged original meaning of an ascending line or a horizontal line, what a crescent could mean, and how all of these symbols, when put together, actually make up all of the astrological symbols. The traditional ones, obviously not the one for Pluto, that's very, very modern, but all of the traditional ones is made essentially of crescents and circles and vertical lines and horizontal lines, more or less. And then looking at why those symbols actually do relate to a certain extent with what is being expressed within those particular planetary stuff and the rest of it. It takes a bit of creativity on your part to start putting ideas together, and also changing your ideas and criticizing the ideas which you've put together as to what something could mean. But it's definitely something that we can all do. Alright, so basically just do the best you can. I mean, that's all any of us can do. Everything takes a bit of practice, a bit of reading, a bit of thinking, a bit of self-criticism, and also doing stuff and just hoping for the best, working out what you need to become obsessive about, what you don't need to become obsessive about, so that you can refine your own training program and try and find ways of fitting that into the complexities you've got of modern 21st century life. But these things are doable. I mean, all this stuff that's been said here about dreams is just that's definitely just something which you just need to work at. Visualization, meditation, going into it. And also, even in a waking state, a waking meditative state, trying to record your dreams that way. And even using words, language, ask the dream to manifest itself, ask it to come to you, ask the memory of it to return to you. When you're in that, I don't know, alpha, theta, prayerful, whatever state it is you prefer to get into, or how you prefer to do it. Okay? Because a lot of all this stuff is about you observing how you are reacting to the exercises that you're doing for the purposes of exploring something. Does that make any sense? I don't know. Comments in the comment section, rate, comment, subscribe, favourite and share, and I'll be doing a series of probably tarot readings coming again very soon. So, speak to you in a bit. Bye for now.